everyone, and welcome to Heart and Hand Extra, a very special edition of Heart and Hand Extra, literally a round table from Ibrox Stadium. And joining me, and I'm not going to do the whole hello guys because it will take about 20 minutes, is my good friend Chris Bett, my good friend Mr Alex Staff, that cunt Cameron Bell, and Ian Hogg. How are we doing, gentlemen?
I think we're all good. I think I speak to everybody saying that after last night.
Now, we're here to do a live show, Heart and Hand live at Ibrox Stadium, and we were all here, of course, last night because Rangers took on Rapid Vienna, and I think what will go down as a famous Champions League, I'm getting ahead of myself, a famous Europa League victory.
Yeah, next year it will be famous Champions League victory. Do you know, after the defeat and the downs of Livingston, last night was the highest of the highs. It was. It's been 7 years and 7 months since our last European game proper here, and it was phenomenal. It was start to finish. I thought Rangers started off a wee bit tentatively, but not to say they were poor. I think they just matched Rapid Vienna. After that, I think they scored against the run of play and a goal that should never have been. And the second half, it was all about us. It was a terrific performance.
It was only the 2 yards offside, Chris.
Just the two, aye. It was.
Honestly, see, at the time I was like, it must be offside, and then I thought I must have seen that incorrectly, because surely if it was how I thought it was, it's got to be offside. And a foul.
You were obviously at the match. I had the benefit of obviously watching it in the house, and it was just a scandalous decision. I think there was two guys actually offside.
They were offside twice, and a foul.
And there was
so
a foul
apart
as
from
well.
That, great goal.
I think the most disappointing thing about it is the offside actually happened in front of the linesman, and how you can get that wrong is just I don't know, man. I don't know, but
there was a cracking line on, was it Twitter, by someone. He said he was that far offside. He was in Aha's Take On Me video.
It went into a new dimension. Cammy, after that, I think we would have been forgiven for feeling a bit sorry for ourselves, but the manager picked up on this, that he said not only was he proud of the way he felt for his players, but they didn't feel sorry for themselves, and it was almost like we got unshackled by their goal, that the team went, right, okay, we now need to go for it. I almost felt the first 40 minutes that there was that feeling out tense, because it was that type of game, two really evenly matched sides up to that point, and I thought it was almost as if at that point Rangers went, right, okay, enough, and we're going to go for this.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we don't suffer from those kind of early match nerves. It's really important that we can actually realise we're now performing like this because we deserve to perform like this, and we're capable of turning around goals which should have been given, that were completely unfair in terms of the decisions that were made. But these players can play when they put their minds to it. There's no doubt to my mind that the timing of our equaliser really helped, and being able to go in there, I think, gives us a great lift.
Helped the crowd.
But it gives us a great lift going into half time. Obviously Gerrard can go in and have his impact on them, which we've already seen the benefit of in a number of matches this season so far. But no, and we don't have reasons to feel sorry for ourselves. We've had a litany of referee injustice throughout this entire season, so hopefully these players have now got that sincere mentality of fuck them, we will do it ourselves no matter what the referee decides to do against us.
Totally agree. Alex, you and I spoke about this last night, that we both felt that first 40 minutes was quite a high quality European game. There's great movement from Rapid. We had to be at our best even with our probing, and watching it back in the stadium, I was a little bit disappointed with what Rangers were doing, but when we watched it back, it was actually a really high quality tactical football match.
It was. Both teams were at it straight away as such, and I know we were saying that Rangers felt as though we started slowly, but I would actually put that more down to how well they were organised and they made things difficult. And the biggest surprise for me was how physical they were. I knew they'd gave away a lot of fouls in games, but I didn't realise how deliberate it was. Every single time that ball was in the air, they just looked at their defender and barged them. Every time.
No eyes on the ball at all.
I don't think they went up for none of their forward players anyway went up for any ball fairly. They just tried to leave a back in, up at the elbow in or whatever. That big number 22 and the number 9, how they managed to stay on the pitch then, that I don't know. But so you kind of set yourself up to, because it's a mentality, right? And you go into these games as a player and you're probably thinking, it's got to be a wee bit different for usual, and then all of a sudden you're there with a referee who's letting quite a lot go. He wasn't a very picky ref for a European ref, and then against a team that's playing very British style in terms of the way they were, flying into the kind of the challenges. So it would have maybe taken a good 20 minutes for the team to realise the sort of game they were in. Actually,
wasn't it lovely just on that though? that the guy who came away with the injury wasn't one of ours for a change.
No, Alfie. Look, it was a perfectly fair attempt to get the ball, wasn't it? I mean, it looked at the time. The guy was raging.
He was absolutely raging, but it was perfectly fair. An accident, a definite accident.
Hopefully not the last time someone in a green and white kit.
Well, I mean, it's worth pointing out, by the way, he's Croatian. And he ended the game with a headband on. There is something about this stadium with Croatians and headbands. We've now got a number of them. There's something not right there. One or two is a coincidence. That's now 4 or 5.
Aye.
Something's not quite right.
He's right for being signed in the January window.
Actually, Osijek, he was signed from in the summer by Rapid Vienna, so they've been raped.
They've had a shit start of season, haven't they?
We've broken them.
He might be worth keeping an eye on. 24-year-old centre half who had a move to Ajax all lined up, but got rejected because of some sort of heart condition. He's obviously still, it's fine. He can play. He looked like a decent big defender to start the game. Actually,
he was clearly the best defender.
I was glad he
was clearly the best defender.
It looked like he was going to come back on at some point. Actually,
I think
they delayed the substitute.
Yeah, I think they were going to see if they could get stitches into it, but obviously they couldn't. Now, Cammie's spoken about the goal. It was a really great goal. James Tavernier at times has his critics, but last night this is what you get from him, where he gets an assist and a goal and is basically integral to everything good we do going forward.
I think, see if James Tavernier plays like that 9 times out of 10, you're looking at a £10-15 million fullback. I honestly believe that. That's what we need to see more of. The only problem that you have to have is his defensive work, which is frustrating, but
it was good last night.
Last night it was faultless, I would actually say.
It's no surprise, however, and we talk about this time and time again, Tavernier defends well when Candeas is in front of him.
Yes.
Because Candeas does not stop. We'll come on to the third goal, but there's Candeas no stopping. He was the guy.
Candeas will get his moment
on
this podcast.
But from a Tavernier defensive performance, Candeas playing in front of him, the two of them go hand in hand.
Yeah.
The thing about the first goal for me is not just the beauty of Tavernier's cross, because he has to play that in front of the defender, so he has to be able to put extra whip in it, but also the fact that Morelos now is playing with the confidence and movement of a striker who knows where the ball is going to be, whereas beforehand he wouldn't have seen that move developing. And that's not for him personally, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but he's playing with confidence now where he knows that can come in, and Tavernier can supply him with those types of crosses, and he'll thrive off it. He'll absolutely thrive off it.
Can I just say, see on the goal, the one player that doesn't get enough credit for the goal is Ryan Kent, in my opinion, because he had the awareness about himself to actually cut in the field and obviously take the ball, and he supplied the pass to Tavernier.
He had another superb game.
I wasn't impressed with him his first 1 or 2 performances, but I mean, he's some humble pie now.
Maybe learning something about judging things too early in the season, Chris,
well,
and how
listen, we'll not get into that in this.
If you let things develop, things can improve. Alex, Alfredo Morelos was superb last night. I thought he was absolutely fit. Didn't give them a moment's peace. 2 goals, won the penalty. Really just kept on and on at their defenders. I mean, that's the Alfredo Morelos that if we can get that more consistently than we don't, then he's worth what we're paying him.
Yeah, this season so far, I think it's fair to say he has been more consistent than not, more good performances.
9 goals, Alex.
9 goals already. St. John,
10,
is it?
Was that
second
10?
goal was 10. Yeah.
Of course, my apologies. He came away from the St Johnstone game saying that's the best we've seen him play. That was only a couple of games ago. So yeah, he's certainly rising the levels. However, what I will say is he's supposedly called Alfie Mo. He's got no pace, no touch, and he should have been subbed before half time if he hadn't scored. And I like short runs out in dry weather. I don't really like the rain.
According to Lonely Bill Leckie, and his Converse and smart shirt, a patron actually, I think, nailed this, because every Rangers fan I know went, Alfie Mo. I've never heard anybody call him that. No, nobody does. And he thinks it's, we go, Alfredo, he thinks it's Alfie Mo.
Yeah.
That's what his thought pattern was. So, into the second half, and I just thought Rangers were by far the better side straight from the off, and we dominated that half. It was wonderful to see.
It's kind of what I touched on earlier on. It's Gerrard being able to tell these players, you can go out there and now dominate this game, and put the goal behind you, put the equaliser as the springboard that you need to go out and start that second half. positively get there and just be against them. And even the Vienna skipper has come out post match and said we just couldn't breathe, and he actually used that terminology, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And we would have wanted to be able to try and play that high press. You wouldn't have said, well, we'll do it in Europe in the group stages. I mean, who would have said that 6 weeks ago? But now we can do it, and now we can see it works, and we thoroughly deserved that performance last night. Every single man stood up to be able to take that to the next level, and every single one of them delivered.
It's a measure of the fitness. Can you imagine last season or the season before Rangers trying that? They would have been blown out their arse after 60. Added to that, just the sheer confidence, coming off the back of Livingston.
Yep.
Losing to Livingston away, bringing out that performance is incredible. Building on the lonely Bill Leckie Hearts Club band, the son, after Steven Gerrard said in the aftermatch, he wouldn't be expecting anything less than 8s. The Sun had 6 of our players 6 out of 10.
I'm not sure there's been anybody above Morelos that's got 8 or more in any of the newspapers, by the way.
So there's
it was nuts. I mean, Ejaria was and I've watched the game live and watched it back. Ejaria was fantastic. Ryan Kent was fantastic. Joe Worrell was fantastic. Morelos was fantastic, and the rest of them were good.
There's only one player that didn't deserve the 8, and that was McGregor, and that says it all.
Yeah, but because he's done to do, and his kicking was bad. That's the only thing you can mark him on.
Just on the Lonely Hearts Club band,
don't kick the arse out that. You got to laugh, but the second time wasn't as funny. Third time's going to be a fucking disaster.
He's getting called up from here on in.
That's why that guy hates you.
And I fucking hate him. I mean,
that's why that listener won't listen, because he knows you're wrong.
To be fair, I mean, maybe it is Bill Leckie.
Maybe it is Bill Leckie.
I wonder what he'll review this podcast out of 10. Probably a 4 or a 5, none above an 8.
But on Bill Leckie, there's a guy who had his post-match reaction written before the game actually started.
The problem is that you've now, and we've said this before, even before the Vienna game, you've now got these Scottish journalists who will not revise an opinion, and we want to say that they will not change their initial standpoint on the back of they've made a kind of presumption, they've put it out in writing, and they want to die in those hills. They want to be able to turn around and say, I'm not changing what I'm doing because of the fact that I've been proven wrong, and they can't have a bit of kind of humble pie. And Ian's totally right, he had that written no matter what the result was going to be last night. He just wanted to show Rangers as being incapable of playing this level, and we're proving everybody wrong with that.
It's utter bullshit. It's total nonsense. But as you say, it's what we've come to expect. Rangers dominant, didn't make an awful lot of clear-cut chances, but equally that was down to, I think, how well Rapid Vienna played. I mean, they were a good side. Ovia Jaria forced a stunning save from their goalkeeper with a header. Great ball in from Tav. Superb ball in. Rangers just were playing really, really good stuff at that point, but Rapid looked as though they might just hold out, and it would have been holding out. But then great ball through again, Ryan Kent involved. Morelos burst the pace. We're fitter than them, as you could tell, because the guy swings a very lazy tackle, and you get the stonewalliest stonewaller of all time.
Yes, it was a Stonewall penalty, although I think everybody in the stadium, and I even seen Gerrard's reaction watching it back, the referee took a little
He took a second.
Yeah. I was waiting for the linesman to call Morelos offside, if I'm being perfectly honest.
That guy had a bit of a nightmare, but for a second, I must admit, everybody's on their feet already, just anticipating the penalty call, and for a second I thought he's going to book him for diving. The ref decided to add a wee bit of drama to that moment. David pointed out last night that it could very well have been the official behind the goal that helped him out with that one and gave that. We'll never know. Correct decision. Watching Baggery when you're at the game, sometimes you're just never sure, and I wondered if he'd maybe been on the way down slightly before the ball.
No, he gets wiped out. He gets absolutely wiped out. Terrible tackle. It was,
as you say, sheer tiredness for that guy, and it was lovely because he done what all really, really old centre halves do, and then he just turned around and blamed absolutely everybody else. He just started screaming at all his teammates about how shite they were.
But Tav goes up, lashes in a great penalty, real pressure penalty, and Ibrox goes fucking apeshit.
He didn't exactly show the pressure, did he? You know what I mean? He sticks it away in the top corner, puts the keeper the wrong way, and Ibrox goes mental out of joy, happiness, pure relief. And I'll go back to 7 years and 7 months we've waited for that, and you could really tell folk really just let it out.
Things like this will be the end of the banter era, because Alex touched on the point earlier and he's totally right. What he expected to see, just naturally because it's ingrained in us over the shite that we've had to go through in the last few years, is we'll not get that penalty. So see, when you're standing watching that, you're thinking we'll not score this, and then just the relief of when it goes in is what you heard last night in this stadium. Is what you're now starting to see is moving away from a period of just the kind of false summits of, well, you get a break but then it gets fucking taken away from you and all that, and now we are putting these to bed very, very simply. And again, yes, it was a lazy challenge, I totally accept that, but it was also phenomenal build-up play for us, being able to try and break down a solid defence with a killer pass which was inch perfect. And again, like I say, we had no other option but to bring Morelos down. And now I can confidently say if Morelos gets to the end of that through ball, he's going through and goal and he's scoring.
And then the bit of skill that we've all been watching. Daniel Candeias actually starts for defending. It's in the 93rd minute. Daniel Candeias actually hooks the ball away, and being Daniel Candeias, he's back working, but he then runs after it. The defender has a loose touch, but then, as Ali McCoist in commentary said, if he turns and plays the ball, it takes him momentum out of the move. So he doesn't, he just backheels it with venom and perfectly into Alfredo Morelos, who sometimes can be, a bit hit and miss on one-on-ones. Not this time, slid through, took his time, I thought, and just let the keeper make his mind up and put it past him.
And he also finished it with his left foot, which I think made the difference, because he didn't try and shape his body in any way to get on his stronger foot, which gives the goalkeeper a huge indication of what you're going to do. He just went through, he was confident enough on his weaker foot and slotted it under. Worth mentioning, that's the 94th minute of the game. Alfredo Morelos made that run from the edge of his own box. Him and Candeias were the two players on the edge of the 18-yard box defending that set piece. And it wasn't until Candeias had won the ball that Morelos actually, because he was just lightly jogging up, and then Candeias won that ball and he went. He knew he could go there, and then Andy Halliday absolutely busting a gut as well, but he was just on the pitch, so it was a bit easier for him.
Apparently Andy Halliday said to Morelos afterwards, good job you scored that.
I think that's why he did score it, because he also knew that he was going to get his whole handed to him if he didn't square to Halliday, and Halliday would have chased him down there.
It's really great that there's...
Reminded me of Johansson all those years ago, where he should have slipped in Kanchelskis against Leverkusen.
I thought Morelos looked a bit like Eric Bo Anderson. Do you remember that?
It was a bit like that, yeah, the way he slid on his left foot, yeah.
But it was there's 93rd minute, and again we talked about it earlier, it's testament to the fitness and testament to the confidence that Candeias clears it, he wins it off the defender, he backheels it, and there's another two guys careering forward, being chased by one defender who's blown out his hole. It was great to see Morelos just going right through, right clear. I'm shouting at him, I'm screaming at him, square it, because I had zero confidence, and it was great. Ibrox, at that point, Ibrox went from relief to pure joy.
Now, Hearts on Sunday, massive game. They're playing really, really well, but so are we. And as much as our away form is a bit of a thing, our home form, I think, is a thing. And I've got to admit, I'm very confident about this match.
This is one of those ones, we've seen it over the years. One of the teams that's not Celtic make a great start for the season, or they're playing pretty well, they're in good form. They come to this game and we kind of go into it almost like it's an Old Firm game. The fans will be a wee bit extra edge to this one. The players will be well up for it. Now we've got last night to consider, and there'll be a wee bit of tiredness in some of those legs, but our home form is outstanding, and this team can drag themselves through anything with this crowd behind them. So I think you're right to look forward to this one. This is one of those ones that I've seen us do it before, most recently Hibs, I think, under Warburton, where they came there with the big licks in form, and if they won they would have been right behind us in the league, and we absolutely smashed them. And it's got that sort of feel about it.
Cammy?
The big thing, I think, we're playing the best team in the country. And I know that sounds sad for a Rangers fan being able to say that, because we've been inconsistent, but I would utilise this as an opportunity to lay that marker down against the best team in the country. So what you've now got the opportunity for is for these players to go out and say there's no reason for us to stand off this. Personally speaking, if we could, I would like both teams to be able to get 3 points on Sunday. Unfortunately, even I can't invoke a league change like this. I'm not, Peter Lawwell. But I think, like I say, we have got the capability to this. I don't think as a team that we should be scared of Ibrox any longer. I don't, and as far as I'm concerned, we should be able to take that. But I hope it doesn't derail the Hearts' momentum, because
we want them to finish second.
They can take plenty of scalps as well.
Yeah, we want them to finish second. Okay, prediction times, Hoggy?
3-0 to Rangers.
Cammy?
3-0 to Rangers, Lafferty hat-trick.
2-0 I'm going for.
2-0 to Rangers from me as well. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got a dash because we've got to do a live show on Ibrox in about 10 minutes, so thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back on our Patreon site all over the weekend with extra previews, much more detailed previews, an immediate post-match reaction, but we'll be back on Monday with the next free pod where we'll go into a lot more detail on the Hearts game. Until then, thanks for listening. Bye.